Hey guys, so May here, and I just want to talk to you for a few moments about the current zodiac for starters. So, you may have heard that as of yesterday, we moved into Mercury Retrograde. So, when I say we moved into Mercury Retrograde, what I mean is that you are a direct correlation of the wandering stars, the luminaries, the planetary bodies, which are not the planets as you were told your whole life, but they are waveforms, frequencies of light right above you and connected to you. You are them, they are you. And so Mercury in Pisces, which means that he is in water, and that's called a detriment. And so he's like spinning backwards. So I don't know about you. I wonder if you're noticing these communication issues. I've actually been noticing them the last few days because he's been in Mercury for a few days, but now he's going into retrograde. So, and he's not going to come out of that retrograde until the 20th. So you may notice some communication breakdowns in the word of Led Zeppelin, right? So, which they were probably singing about Mercury, because a lot of this older classic rock is all related to the signs, to it's all related to the planetary bodies, the zodiac, and the constellations. You know, even Led Zeppelin, which claims to be about the Norse wars, and Tolkien, which some of it is related to that, but it still all stems from the zodiac, the sky, the soul, consciousness. Um, and anyway, so Mercury in retrograde. So, what I want to say to you, so you may see like communication issues with your phone, with the internet, with trying to articulate as well as you can. See, I just stumped myself. You see that? We can feel this. Mercury is our messenger. It is when you open your mouth to say something. It is when you are trying to understand something. And then when he goes into retrograde, it's like you're kind of, oh, I forgot something. I lost something. Where did I put that? It's kind of like going backwards. But going backwards to the past, in a way, is actually good to help align you for the path forward. This is actually exciting. If you think about that, we're going to go into Aries soon, which is the real start of the zodiac year, the cycle. This is the sun coming up. You know, like it's the resurrection. It's what Easter is really about, and not the allegory that we were all told. So it's really about the sun. And Mercury right now, though, is connected to inner emotions. Emotions are energy in motion. So we live in a field of electromagnetism, and then we have a field of electromagnetism around our body, and that's the Taurus field in which we exist. Also, that we are connected and corded to etherically, and not something visibly that we can see, but similar to an umbilical cord. So that's how we're connected to these planetary bodies. And Mercury is has gone into water. So just think of it like water right above you, right? So it's like a water that you can't see, but it's waveform. So he's gone into water, but it's the path of least resistance, right? Water. And actually, this year in particular, similar to 09 and 2012 and 2013, Mercury is going to go 3 times into water. He's going to then go into retrograde in Scorpio as well, in Cancer. So, which we don't need to think about that right now, but it doesn't happen every year like this, going into retrograde. So, what I want to say to you, especially with communication, like as far as like signing things, contracts, writing letters to people's emotions, I think it's a good time to do it, but I would say you might want to hold off, just from my experience and research and reading and just experience. He comes out of retrograde March 20th, so this could be a better time. But to start, if you're going to make a big move, I guess I would say to start the process. You could during this time, but to keep in mind that communication may be slipping. And also, Mercury is the magician, right? So he's the trickster. So things can look great and they go awry, and there's interference in the last moments, and it goes sideways. You know what I'm saying? So you have to keep that in mind. What I've also read is that he's the energy of the Fool on tarot. I mean, I don't do tarot cards, but I've just, if you do, that might be something you're into and you've noticed that. So keep that in mind. So don't be upset. This is all a holographic field. It's all, you know, like we're in some sort of down in the hole black cube. And the thing is, that's why you should not take it so seriously. But it's good to know what's going on in the zodiac right above you. Think of it, it's the zodiacal dial. Dial is in zodiacal. Dial is in zodiac. So if there's a quantum computer, which is not anything that our human brains, even if we have the best, greatest chrism activation directly to Orion. No matter how activated we are, we could never fathom the scale of this quantum system that's used to regulate this holographic field, this simulation, which is all governed by layers of consciousness. You know, we just slipped into here. And I'm pretty certain, I mean, I feel I've been here 1,000 or 1,000,000 times. Um, and maybe you do too. Maybe that, and you know what? Sometimes I feel like the NPCs, which are the backdrop players, are actually, they're here to promote a type of realness or authenticity that actually doesn't exist, but it's to encourage that, to help us believe that the system is real, but it's not, and they are likely new incarnations. So when I say new, it's nothing to do with age. It has to do with that they just haven't been here. I always think that we're in their world, not them in our world. So we slipped into here from somewhere else. You may think that's from a star system. You may think that's from other incarnations. Could be a combination of both in actuality, most likely. But, and I didn't mean to get sidetracked, but all of it's relative to Mercury and to you understanding what this current time is. It doesn't even mean you need to know much about the zodiac. But Mercury is the magician, and he's the trickster, and he's always, because he's he's just like always riding on the tails of the sun. He's always near the sun. And what I want to say is, if you have any kind of issues or difficulties in the next few weeks, and until March 20th, until he comes out, keep in mind that everything is going to spring forward, right? Like in Aries, the ram, right before the cerebellum bull, we have Aries, the fire, when the sun is finally resurrected and reborn. We're going into that. So, however frustrated you may feel, as far as intellect or communication, things going awry, just just keep this in mind. It's always like a little backward, a little bit of a fall before the rise, right? Aries, a rise, okay? And that's what's about to happen, and that's exciting. We can sit here and, as I've said before, we can do this is a hell, it's a prison, misery loves company. Some of these truthers go on, but that's just a big dose of depression. I mean, how does that serve you? Who wants to listen to that? I mean, we can discuss that. There's definitely a nemesis here in this holographic field, of course. There has to be, because the duality is what helps create the construct. So it is. But you are protected, and the more you activate, the more you understand things, the more you connect to the constellations, to the planet, to absolutely to the luminaries, to the planets. Find your favorite one. Even if you don't really know your chart, or you go, oh, Jupiter is in for me it's in Aquarius, maybe it is for you. That helps expand your knowledge and intellect. Connect with Jupiter. There are things, I don't know if you guys know this, and this is more from texts that I read, wide ranging from the 1920s to the 1970s, especially, not just Aleister Crowley, but there's other ones. Regale, who wrote In the Golden Dawn. Did you know that writing and drawing angles can help create your magic? Do you know what I mean? Like drawing the 5 star, like the pentagram. There's a reason why you see the star like on the pole, Polaris, pole ice. There's a reason why you see the star everywhere. It is an inversion, of course. It's actually to benefit you. We're not taught these things as children, as far as creating magic. Of course not. But they show us, and they're ridiculous. Uh, Whatever, Harry Potter, anything, you know what I mean? You can always get elements of the truth. But there really is a magic. I mean, we really are superhuman. We really do have powers. Drawing and writing, and movements also, there's different types of movements that I'm still learning about. But because you are an energy field, but drawing angles, writing out the things that you want, because in spring, when Mercury moves, the messenger, keep in mind, moves in to Aries. There is Neptune there, which is the imagination and creativity. And I think that's a good thing. Saturn, there's nothing to be afraid of with Saturn. Yes, it's the satanic element. The thing is it's all perspective, because you're in a holographic field. So keep in mind that Saturn can also just represent structure and stability, and can help you. Forget the superstitious nonsense. If we could do a whole day of shows on that. We could talk about that. We could talk about that till we turn blue, because there's so much superstition and falsities that the facade that in which we grew up in. But once we learn about language, about inversion, about the zodiac being a real dial, being a real wheel that keeps on spinning, don't know where I'll be tomorrow sort of thing, right above our head. Once we realize this, okay, and once we start activating the chrism, which is going from the lower dimensions of consciousness to the stairway to heaven, which is the spinal cord at 33, right? You're going up Jacob's ladder to the top, and burst, and you connect to. You could say Om, to Om, home, Om, right? E.T. phone, Om. I hope if half of this is sinking in for 6 people, that's fine with me. Because I don't think, as I always say, and I'm sure a lot of those of you here would agree, that there's not that many of us. I mean, and I won't get started on YouTube and the fake internet. It's all fake. It's all the shadow. It's just fakeness, a facade. So the thing is that we, the few of us that are here, will find our way to each other at the end of the day. We will swim through this grid and find each other. So even if it's only a few like-minded souls that you can connect with. Hey, that's something in this sea of well, I would say the truth is the sea of idiots. So, but they don't know any better because their frequency, their downloads are, it's they're just so new here. Like I said, we're in their world, so they can't help themselves. So anyway, dreams could be very real, very heightened, very vibrant right now with Mercury in water. So just keep that in mind. The magic, he is magic and it's coming, but you have to take two steps back before going forward, right? There's a lot of intensity in water. So it's exciting. It's exciting. It's just like the best time coming into spring, and it's very soon. And actually, in 2 days, it's going to be a stellium. Um, no, I think that's tomorrow, the 28th. It's going to be a stellium. It's going to be the planetary lineup. And I just want to say one thing before I close here, because I only had time for a short video. But I want to say one thing for a second. I just don't understand how anyone with half of a brain cell could ever believe that these luminaries, the seven wandering stars above us, how they could ever believe that they are millions and billions of light years away is just mind boggling to me. No, it's inside of your system. Your you're electric, right? Your electromagnetic system and field, it is all part of you, and there's no way that it could be that far and have any effect on you. One thing that's very interesting also about astrology, and even in the older texts that I read, it's kind of fascinating because they remove logic, and what they do is they say, okay, we know that the sun is the center of all the solar system and then the planetary bodies. However, we're going to use the Earth as a model as being the center. It's like there's no abstract free thinking thought, and this is the highest level of astrologers, which are even millionaires at this point, with software systems and books and everything else, promoting this concept. I suppose just to save face. I'm not sure. It's just they can't go against the system, right? They could be on the frequency as well, and you can't turn away from the system. So it's just mind-boggling. How do you not just look straight up and realize that's a huge part of you? You're corded to it. I've seen it in astral projection. I've seen the cord. You are corded here. That's why it's called records, which are like spinning. Do you get the correlation yet? Do you get it? It takes some abstract thought, which is not something in this hologram that we witness a lot of, right? It's not. So, but the goal here is for those of us, the souled beings, is to activate and to elevate and connect to that higher consciousness so that we cannot be programmed, downloaded, or altered, so we can stay inside of our body sits inside of this soul, and it wants to connect, and there's only one way to do it. I mean, meditation, reverie, right? Reflection, deep thought, reading real books, writing in notebooks, drawing angles, because there's angles in the sky, not angels. Okay? Sorts of things that everything else is just trying to upload consciousness in a different facet. And actually, the thoughts that come to me are quite um, something that I don't want, quite unsettling. When we think of the thought of uploading consciousness for eternity and being, trapped in some square. We're already in a hole. So anyway, I didn't mean to get off on that, and that's not to be negative whatsoever. It's to help you to help you connect. I mean, we are the illuminated ones. We are the stars. You are orbed in here. You are an orb experiencing this. So what we want to do is we're fighting off the lower dimensional forces, right? So anyway, Mercury is on your side. I do personify them. I think that they love us. They're a part of us. That's how we emanate into here, is through them. You wouldn't exist without them. We just weren't taught any of this. No one ever talks about this, or talked about this with us growing up. It was something far, far away, and these planetaries, like they are gaseous, matter-based beings, which they're not. So anyway, so Mercury, a time of emotion, which is energy in motion, and the sun, and it is very close to it, and it's in water, and you're going to notice, I'm just telling you to help you guys out, that you will notice some communication issues, but take control over it. Mercury is the magician. Talk to him, connect to him, write down to him, right? I mean, like writing your notebook to Mercury, talk in your head to Mercury, activate. Because it is like he kind of takes over when he goes into retrograde, the zodiac kind of, I think he wants us, think of it like Mercury in a tutu, or hey, look at me, dancing, because he does change to feminine to masculine based on if he's near Venus, if whatever feminine or masculine planet he's near. So, which he is near Venus actually at the moment. And even if you don't know much about the zodiac, I'm just telling this to you. It's just a waveform. It's just a frequency. Just connect to it. You're going to notice some weird things. Maybe when you're trying to have a deep conversation with someone and the NPCs are, they're programming, they start stuttering. Maybe you'll see it live in action. So there's going to be things that are going to go sideways and backwards, and that's okay, because it's a couple steps back, because we're about to spring forward. Just like the human, the life cycle. Spring, and then fall, and then spring, summer, fall, and winter, right? I mean, it's the same as the aging human. It's exactly the same. So spring is the baby, it's the new, it's the exciting, it's the ram, it's the head. It's just so exciting. Regardless, remember that we help emanate and create in the smaller spheres. I prefer to say spheres than bubbles, but in the smaller spheres of our reality, we help construct this and co-create this. So just keep this in mind as the magician. Work with the magician, right? You're not going to go on stage and kick around the hat. No, you're going to pull out a rabbit, right? You are the magician. You are Mercury. Mercury inverted spells my cure. That's why you see Mercury, right? That's Hermeticism. That's the hermit. Sometimes we hermit as well. And you see Mercury on, what is it? The medical, right? The serpent around the cross, that's the sign of Mercury, but he can be your cure. Everything is inverted, and the elites don't own any of that. We are the stars, because we're in an inversion. They are not the stars. You are the orb. You are the star. You have a huge soul, and I will end this here. I'd love to see your thoughts and comments. If you're even noticing this Mercury retrograde, how you feel about spring, anything like that. I love to see it. You're all brilliant, and thanks for listening.